Hey y'all, here I is again to show you some more stuff. And I got some more records, and I have some books, and some really old stuff to show you, as usual. And we'll just start right in. First off with the records, we got The Doors, Absolutely Live. Now I already have this, but this is an upgrade copy because my other Doors Absolutely Live is very beat up and stuff. I don't exactly remember where I got it and everything. It's a long time ago. So I decided to upgrade that version and get a new one. And I have never seen this Sade record, so I got it. I snatched it right up. I have a couple of her others, like 3 I think. And this one's called Cherish the Day. I've never seen this one. And I went my phone. I forgot to turn it down, and they're just going to have to wait. And here we have Les Claypool of Wales and Woe. Of Wales and Woe. Woe is me. Is that just on a plain black? I didn't even look at it. No, black vinyl. Like I said, I get most of my records from our record shop here. And I don't even bother looking at them to see if they're scratched anymore, because they have a pretty good grading system already. And we have Casey and the Sunshine Band. It's always a good night for a disco with your boogie shoes and get down tonight. And here's one. I don't really care for Fleetwood Mac. Now I do have Rumors. But I just don't care for Fleetwood Mac. I don't like them for some reason. But I heard this one song off of Mystery to Me, Fleetwood Mac, and it's called Hypnotized. I heard it on the radio. It must have been on the Classics radio station. And at the end of the song, they said, hey, that was Fleetwood Mac, or however they say it. And I'm like, that didn't sound like Fleetwood Mac. What happened? How come they went from playing songs like Hypnotized to all that poppy 70s soft rock type stuff that I just don't really care for? Some of it I like, but most of it I don't. And here we have Love, Peace, and Poetry, American Psychedelic Music. This isn't an old record, it's just a compilation of some songs. A very pretty lady there on the cover. And here she is on the back in her bikini and things. And on the inside, some more 60s type looking psychedelic. That's a very nice picture. That'd be a good poster or something. Psychedelic music, and that's the bands that are on there. And I have no idea who these bands are. Darius, New Tweety Brothers, Arcesia, Victoria, Damon, Jungle, Hunger, Music Emporium, Brain Police. They're all from the 60s and early 70s. Some little psych bands, I guess. And that's one of those I just picked up because I wanted to try it out. And lastly, I have a poetry album here. Poetry readings in the cellar with the Cellar Jazz Quintet, Kenneth Rex Roth and Lawrence Ferlinghetti. And the white album's going to throw the camera off. But I thought that looked interesting. Lawrence Ferlinghetti, you know, he opened that famous bookstore, you know, again with the Jack Kerouac and all that. And it's on a red vinyl. And there's some little inserts in here. Fantasy Records, long playing catalog. And some more, well, I guess this labels releases. Ding dong, yeah. Take a break while that's doing its thing. That's the record part. And now I have some more Pulp Fiction. And these two are kind of the first two are kind of similarly themed. Here we have the art studio murders. A lady in a red dress, and it looks like she's got some red hair going there too. And this guy's, I don't know what he's looking at, but it looks kind of strange. Anyway, the back. The bodies were beautiful, but dead. One was an artist model who saw too much and died too suddenly. Another was an agent's wife with an angel shape, but a vixen's desire for other men who posed too freely. Pulp Fiction. Here's another one of kind of artist along the artist theme. Reclining figure. Murder and passion crack the art world right wide open. I've got so many of these. Some of these I may have shown before, but here it is again. Paul Weldon could paint like a streak, but he had his troubles. One was Molly Dan, his lusty, hard-swearing model. Paul needed Molly badly, but she had no use for a drunken painter who cried for love. Molly liked her men fast, tough, and strong. Paul's other trouble was a reclining figure. It was supposed to be a Renoir worth thousands of dollars. Paul had it first. Then a vicious pack of characters came after him and Molly. They wanted that reclining figure bad enough to kill for it. And lastly, we have The Passionate, a new Al Wheeler thriller by the international sensation whose books have sold over 21,500,000 copies, which I've never heard of this guy. Twin temptresses out for kicks any way they come, including shrunken heads, corpses, and lady killers. The Passionate. And the sizzling brunette collected shrunken heads, but she offered Al Wheeler $5,000 to bring her the live heart of her ex-husband. The torrid redhead collected man, and she offered Al Wheeler her pretty self. The girls were twin sisters, each in her own seductive way was trying to take the tenacious cop's mind off their matched set of corpses. But Al wasn't buying their brand of pleasure, not while he still suspected that their trademark was murder. And here we have a VHS tape, The Horrible Horror, hosted by the Cool Ghoul Zachary, TV's original horror show host. It's outtakes of 50 different films, and I guess him talking in there. I never heard of this guy, so I had to look him up, and it says he was a pretty famous horror and radio show host back in the 50s and 60s, apparently around Pittsburgh and New York area. So some of you over there probably know who this guy is. And now I'm going to have to dust off the old VCR that's in storage and play this tape. Let's see, antiques. Now, I mentioned in a previous video that I collect knives, and I just thought I'd show a few here. This is an old pruning knife that's very tight in its case. It's an, what do you call it? Solingen, Old Bull Solingen, and it still has somebody's cataloging mark on it, 1844. And these were pretty much made for pruning bushes and cutting tree branches, that sort of thing. And there's that. And here we have a kitchen knife, which is from 1834 by, if I can read it, it's kind of small, J. Russell and Company. And it has a bone handle. Now this is a kitchen knife. And it's that old, but I kind of cleaned it up, and I still use it in the kitchen. Now, the tip is not sharp anymore, and I'm not going to mess with it by trying to sharpen it. But this part here, this is very sharp still, as old as it is. And that's an old kitchen knife with an antler handle. And the last of the kitchen utensils. I found a lady on the internet that makes these kitchenware sets, and the sets are silverware from the 1800s, and they're still usable. These have bone handles. There's a butter knife, and here's a fork. Now I do have a couple of other sets that only have 3 prongs over here. They did make a lot of them back then with just 3 prongs. But these are very cool. She makes them like for people to go on picnics, or maybe you just want to have a romantic dinner and have some old, really old silverware. And she wraps them all nice in these napkins, and now I got to rewrap that. But I just thought that was cool. I also have some really old plates. If anybody cares to look at those, I'll show them sometime. There's a couple that I probably won't show because it might get me in trouble. They are from Germany, and they probably I just won't mention it anymore. Anyway, lastly, I found this big at our antique mall. This big Mark's gas station. I believe it was made probably in the 50s. But it's a Mark's Toys gas station, and Mark, you can hear my voice vibrating off of this. Anyway, they were famous for making a lot of tin toys back in the day. And I do have some, I don't know what I'm going to do with this, probably some kind of display, probably until one of my grandkids will probably be after it. But it came with a bunch of other stuff that's missing. It's missing one of the gas pumps on this side and the signs, and it came with little plastic gas station men, workers, and cars, which are all missing. And I believe the platform over here is missing. Nope, it's there actually. Look at that. I didn't even notice that the little platform to raise your car up and down is still there, and the elevator's still inside there. But I just thought I would share that for anybody that might have had one of these way back in the day. And I just thought this was fun. A fun thing to pick up for a display, if nothing else. But I thought you all might like to look at that. And that's basically, that's all I have. No more stuff this time. Actually, a shorter video. And until I see you next time, Colin, over and out, and Weirdos Unite.